morning, just talking about life, like moments like that. Or your brother has a basketball game, and you go to the game, like you walk with your friends to the game, and then the game is over, and then you find yourself at like 10:30 at night walking between Iona and the College of New Rochelle. It's like a 2 mile walk, I think. And you're there, like walking back from the school. You stop at what's that? A number ones, I think, when they were open. You used to get the little powdered donuts or a slice of pizza, and then you're walking back to your dorm, and it's like 12 o'clock in the morning on like a Friday night. You're like, the loudest thing is like nobody's outside, and you're walking in the middle of the street, and you're just the loudest things from here to Timbuktu. You're laughing and you're eating your food, and you're on your way back to your school, and then all of a sudden you run into random guys. That shit happens. A bunch of guys be like, yo, shorty, what y'all doing? And you're just like, get the fuck away from me. Or, nah, son, you don't want this. You ain't ready for this. That old 18-year-old attitude. And then you end up befriending. Some of them became cool. You were friends while you were there. And then some of them were just rude. You was like, nah. Now let's keep on pushing. We're like, they're gonna try to rape us. Let's run. Fucking rapists. You fucking start running down the street at full blow. Don't know why you're running. I miss those days. You get back to campus, the place is like a ghost town. Nobody's outside. But that feeling is still there. It's like that Monsters That feeling at night where you feel like everything is on fire. Everything that has a spirit is on fire. You can feel it. When you make it back to your dorm, you crawl up the stairs. Go back to the room, kick your shoes off, and fall asleep in your clothes. Oh man, I remember those things. This would be fun. I remember the first time I went to Queens with one of the freshmen. I clicked with her because her last name was Miller. She was Jamaican, and the four of us, we had went to me, Kia, Kim, and Tasha, and we went with her to spend the weekend at her house back in Jamaica, Queens. Oh my God, it's the first time there. I remember we had went to the mall. I think one of the nights there, I was poor as hell. I think I maybe had just enough to go to the movies, if that. I remember we went to, how do I care? I don't care. Shit happens. I was cool then. People paid my way. Speaking of, what was that? Went to the movies and saw Soul Food. That's when Soul Food that came out. And we was at the movie theater in Queens and saw Soul Food. I remember hanging out that night after the movie theater. They had these things called dollar vans. You pay $1 if it pretty much took you anywhere along a specific route. I remember that night. It may have been like 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. And we were walking back to her house. It was like about maybe a 5-6 block walk. But this is like the suburbs of Queens. It's not like the city part. And I remember I had these boots, these heel boots on, and the nail was coming up through the bottom of the foot. And I had on these tight bell-bottom pants. They were like these blue and white checkered bell-bottom pants, and I had on this brown like sweater that went with the boots. But I had only buttoned them up at the boobs, and I was showing my stomach and my midriff. And I remember taking the boots off. I was so tired of the thing hitting me in the bottom of my foot. I was literally walking down the street in my socks. It was like midnight, and we were just from the night, we were just walking back to her house. I remember with my boots in my hand, walking in my shoes under the street lights. And then again, it was like another ghost town. Nobody outside. It was just the loudest things outside. I remember getting back to her house. We was just chilling there, and I remember 4 of her friends, these guys came over to chill with us, and we all kind of clicked with one. Everybody just chose who they were going to click with, and that was the guy we were just with the night. But the guy I was chilling with, he was like, I don't know if he was high. I think his name was Orlando. They called him O or something like that. The whole time we was there, he just was not vibing with me. Like he was just kind of like in his own headspace. I don't know if he was drunk or high, but he barely, conversated with me. I found myself just sitting next to him, just watching everybody else have fun because he just wasn't clicking with me. I think he was just high. I don't know what happened. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know. What else is there? I don't give a fuck. That's for angry bird conversations. I'm not talking with you. You got your own time to talk when it's your time to talk. I don't know. I had so many of those moments. So many of those ghost town moments. It was retarded. Hanging out with so and so in Brooklyn, ghost town. Ended up that same night. We ended up on Coney Island. I don't know how the hell we got over there. From Sumner Projects over to Coney Island in the same night. And it was so foggy outside. You couldn't really see 2 seconds in front of you. We was out there on the pier. I don't know how we got over there. And then we ended up back at Sumner. I think we were out there for like 3 or 4 hours. Ghost town. I remember we had met these guys. And one of them had a car. It was a hoopty. It didn't even have seats. And I think the driver had a seat. The driver side had a seat, and the passenger side, there was no seats in the back. He had crates back there to sit on. I remember we hung out with him. He was cool people. Smoking Black and Miles or drinking and just chilling outside. The strip show. Oh, I talked about the strip show way too much. That was for my birthday. That was a different time. Well, that's about it. I was talking about something now. I'm just talking about nothing. Alright. Talk to you later. I thought I could plan a podcast. That is not going to happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here. Since I thought I could plan a podcast, that is not going to happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here. Chop up block to block how I'm going to tell you about weight loss and weight gain. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't have did that. I should have ended on my nights. I never talk about my nights in Belgium. Never talk about the stuff I did there. But it's not much to talk about. We went to the movies a lot. Went to the movies about 5 times on the time we were there. 4 or 5 times. We didn't go to McDonald's once. McDonald's wasn't that far from the house. We ate from Pizza Hut a lot. Well, we used to go shopping at this place called the American Store. We used to go shopping there every week. Every time the kid got paid, we would stack the house up with groceries. And then, like, a block, not even a block from the house. Like, if I came down the stairs from the apartment and went out the front door and took a left, like, I would literally walk on the same block we lived. Before the end of the street, there was, like, this entrance, and you would duck in, and it would be a grocery store, but it was disclosed by a wall, and you would come in and it was like this open walk area, and it was underneath an apartment building that was pushed back from the street. And I used to go in there, and it was a grocery store, but it was a Dutch grocery store. We used to get our meat from there, our ice cream from there, and sometimes if we didn't want to drive to the American store to get soap and stuff, we get shampoo and soap from there, or milk, or like little stuff we get from there. And I used to go there and shop all the time. I used to get the chicken from there. But you have to ask for chicken because they also sold pigeon. And it used to be like in the same case. It would be like pigeon or chicken. And they used to always, wrap it up for you like as if you're at a butcher's in like this brown paper. And I used to always grab this Twix ice cream. That used to come in a pint. And that's the first time I ever used Garnier. We used Garnier over there. We used to use... It was like a soap shampoo in the same bottle. And I used to use that to wash my hair and take a bath in the shower. Yeah, that's where I used to get the meat from. And the kid, when I used to cook, the kid used to always want the same thing. And like the milk, that's the first time milk used to come in the big cartons, like they sell the coconut and the almond milk in. They used to sell whole milk in those cartons. That's the first time I ever saw it that way. I remember for dinner, I used to always make the same thing. It was like macaroni and cheese in a box with the liquid cheese pack and the chicken. And we used to take the chicken and cook it in Italian salad dressing. And that used to be dinner. Every freaking time I made dinner, that's the only thing I made. Once I made spaghetti, but mostly it was that. For breakfast, it used to be like either pancakes or French toast or something like that, or cereal, if we got our hands on cereal. And then the dessert used to be the same. I used to always make the banana pudding, but without the bananas, and the one where you cook the pudding on the stove. You cook the pudding on the stove, and you just pour it over the cookies. The hot pudding over the cookies. You let it sit for like 10 minutes so the cookies set. It used to be the best fucking thing, especially when you high. We used to freaking... One of us made the trip to Rotterdam. It's like an hour ride, like 2 hours round trip. Get like enough weed to last for like 2 weeks. And somebody would sit there and roll blunt after blunt till it's like 7 blunts rolled. And we freaking eat pudding and have a movie on, whether it was Azazel or Varsity Blues or South Park or any of the movies we had. We also made them goddamn movies just smoke till 2 or 3 blunts later. We just too high to eat anything else or too high to smoke. And then I'm out on the back porch and I got my headphones on. And my yellow Sony portable CD player. And I used to listen to, especially D'Angelo or Jay-Z. What's that? Is that the Blueprint? The first Blueprint with Takeover on it? And I used to let those play, and I used to smoke out that back door. High as hell. But I freaking take over in my head. Don't go take it over. That's very vivid in my head. That one or D'Angelo. D'Angelo is very vivid. Especially that, I think it's number 10. As soon as that song comes on, Belgium just appears. It's like, girl, you done got too crazy. I'm going back to sleep. Alright. See you when I see you. Nope, we'll also go to see the bars. Amsterdam, the basketball games. Oh yeah, the basketball games is always cool. I was always a fanatic in the stands. Everybody knew who I was by the end of the game. If I wasn't jumping up and down on the bleachers or pacing back and forth, I was screaming my head off. It was insane. Alright, I'm gonna try to exit again here. As I thought I could plan a podcast, that is not gonna happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here. Chop up, block, how I'm gonna tell you about weight loss and weight.